There, one begin to understand the language of what? Every material thing. The language of everything. When you get close to the water, water speaks to you. You understand the water. You don't bargain with the water. You don't go in a contract with the water. You become his superior or her superior because you listen to the language, the rhythm, and the melody of the water. That is what we call spirits. Greetings to each and every one of you. Omnia Vincit Veritas. Welcome to Seeker of Truth, Spiritual Awakening and Inner Engineering. May our within God keep blessing us all and guiding us, protect us on the true path of our within enlightenment. I seek for protection and praises and opportunities, transformation for you. What is spirituality and how does a spiritual being looks like? And what does spirituality really looks like? A lot of people always miss the term or misunderstand the term spirituality. And a person who has indulged himself into that abode, into that. When a person becomes spiritual, his whole being, his whole life, his whole existence turn into what? Into spiritual. Then that person will be called a spiritual what? Person. So I always tell you that spirituality is a way of life. If you ask any mystic, or if you ask any Sufi, what is spirituality? The simplest answer he or she will be uttered to you is that spirituality is a way of life. We have been seeing a lot of things on the social media. You see, I sometimes don't blame the folks out there. I sometimes don't blame people because a lot of people, a lot of people who are chasing the path of spirituality are carnal. And you will see that a lot of them hardly will you see that these people have spiritual masters. And hardly will you see that these people were oriented or groomed or trained under any spiritual master. So the understanding and the idea that they have about spirituality is all about, or is all about what they always see on the social media. What you see on the social media, 80% of what you see on the social media, it is never spirituality. A friend of mine said anti-craft or anti-craft. You see, it's a craft. A lot of things that you see on the social media are all crafts. It's a craft of somebody who comes out to display his crafts. So you see that a lot of people They will come out killing animals, doing sort of things. These people, some of them are true spiritual beings. They have understood spirituality to some level, but what they choose to show to the public is different from what they practice behind doors. Are you getting my whole thing? So, you as a novite that you are watching me, when you are on the social media and you are watching videos, I want you to understand something. The videos you are watching on the social media should not define spirituality to you. It shouldn't be so. If spirituality is a way of life, then what kind of life should a spiritual person live? I don't get you. If you are getting my whole point, which is why in Sufism or in pure spirituality, there is a position that one anchored in spirituality, being it in the angelic states or being it in astral states or being it in the spiritual states. Okay, there's a state one anchored. When that person anchored into that plane or into that consciousness, whatever the person utter, it become life. I want you to understand this. At the moment you need concoction to be putting together before a manifestation can come into life, you are not living the life of spirits. Am I making sense here? If the only way for you to bring anything into manifestation is to put things together in alchemical way, which is alchemy, before one can bring something into manifestation, then that person is not living the life of what? Spirits. In me, I've really roamed a lot, and I have met different kinds of spiritual masters. In Islamic, they have something called al-mustajaba, or they have something called kun fakana, or they have a position or a state that they call makam, al-makamu kun or kun fayakunu. There was a time I was watching one video, and a certain young man was asking the host if she knows what kun fayakunu means. You understand what I'm saying? And kun fayakun is the attribute of the source, of the divine. When the divine want to put forth a creation, the divine speak, that it manifests. That divine. Let me ask you, the viewer, is there any scenario? Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I ought to say. Maybe Shaman, I don't know. But my board of contention is that, has there been any historical record of Christ that a person has come to him seeking for help? Then Christ will now ask the person to go and bring some concoction, some items, and speak some invocations for that thing to come to pass. Grace, but is there anything like that? So all the rituals we are doing, all the performance we are doing that in either for those energy and the frequency to boost us for us to be anchored into that state of what? When we speak, that it becomes to life. When we think, then it becomes to what? It becomes to life. Has there been any historical record of Buddha? I don't know. Maybe the Buddhists can say it. Me, I have been into Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism and Hinayana Buddhism before. I have not seen any record of that. But maybe there is. Has there been any record that Buddha, when Buddha want to bring forth a manifestation, he then look for flowers, honey, and cow milks, cinnamons, tongues, and things of that nature before he was able to bring forth a manifestation? The so-called Hare Krishnas, has there been any record historically, authentically, of a Krishna before he bring forth a manifestation? He went and gathered so many gods, so many images before him, before he was able to bring forth anything? No. So spirituality, for one to be called a spiritual person, is for one to become a spirit by understanding the spiritual level or the spirit level he is. Because do not forget, you are, rationally, literally, you are a combination of your spirits, your mind, your body, and your soul. That's literally. Are you getting my point? So if you are performing rituals, being it traditional way, being it international way, being it foreign way, whichever way you perform your ritual, you shouldn't anchor into that and think that that is the only method or that is the only way one can ascend. No, it is a method that guides you, that leads you to reach your own self. Yes, but are you getting my point? So spirituality is a way of life. If your whole being has not been transformed into spirits, into that purity, into that spirituality, into that uniqueness of divine, your whole life should become or should turn into what? A spiritual life. You are not qualified to call yourself a spiritual being. You can be a ceremonial spiritualist. We don't have problem with you because we are all part of it. Are you getting what I'm saying? We do perform rituals, we do incantations. These are all formula. Alchemically, it is all formula that enables you to mobilize a certain amount of energy, and that energy will boost you to be anchored into your within Christ. Are you getting it? But you see, a lot of people, they freeze and they get stagnant into that. So sometimes when I see people talking about, especially my fellow African spiritualists, and sometimes I laugh. You see, a certain man said something which I was very pleased with him. He said that what sometimes hurts him or baffles him is that when people say that African spirituality, there is nothing like African spirituality, non-foreign spirituality. There is, my brother, there is African spirituality, because all spirituality emanated from Africa, and we the Africans, we are the source. Are you getting the whole thing? Are you getting the whole thing? And our forefathers, what was the mode of contention why our forefathers built those deities? My brother, if all you think you know and you think you are so powerful and your power only lies in the deity, you are not powerful, my brother, because at the moment those deity is being disconnected, you are powerless. I saw one man who says that I am very powerful. Listen to this. He says that he is very powerful, very, very powerful, and he is the only person who has gathered thousands of deity under his roof. And I laugh. So if power is all about you gathering thousands of deities under your roof, is what power is. When there are people who do not have a single deity or a single energy point in their houses or under their roof, yet when they sit down and they say something, it comes to life, and they don't seek for permission from anybody, they don't seek any authority from anybody. Those are the spiritual beings. If you say that because you have 1,000 deity under your roof, yet your deity gives you rules and regulations, the days you should have intimacy with your wife, and the days that you should not have intimacy with your wife, things you should food that you should eat and food that you are not obligated to eat, and yet you call yourself a spiritual person, yet you call yourself a powerful person. So now, if these deities are off, what happens to you? Signature, what happens to you? If these deities are all off, what happens to you? Jesus said, man shall not live by bread alone. What does that mean? You shouldn't be anchored by anything that is exterior of you. You shouldn't. Which is why it said the kingdom of God, which is the power, the energy, the Christ, lies here within. So the deity, even a deity that will take ram from you and cat and goat and wine from you before he do your work for you, that deity is not powerful, because that deity needs tools. Are you getting the whole point? He needs to mobilize some apparatus, and the deity says he's a spiritual being. No. Whatever thing you put forth together to put a creation or to create something, it is alchemical. It's a frequency. It doesn't, hey, listen, it doesn't need any deity. Either you have the deity or not. If you know the science of alchemy, when you put them together and you say things, it comes to pass. Now, a person says, I am the overall boss. Yet there is something or someone or somebody elsewhere giving him command. Are you getting the whole point? So if you said you are the overall boss, yes, man, yet your power is in your ring. If the ring is no more, that particular thing that you have been doing, you cannot do. Yet you have to go to the beach and consult. Are you getting the whole point? Yet you have to, when it is festive day or festive month or festive year, festive moment, you see, so spirituality, when you see, when your whole being turn into spirit by understanding that you are not the body, you are not the mind, but you are the miraculous, infinite intelligence within the super consciousness that is observing the act of the mind. There, one begin to understand the language of what every material thing, the language of everything. When you get close to the water, water speaks to you. You understand the water. You don't bargain with the water. You don't go in a contract with the water. You become his superior or her superior because you listen to the language, the rhythm, and the melody of the water. That is what we call spirits. When a fire is being set, the flame and the fire itself, they speak in different rhythm, they speak in different narrow, in different angles. When you anchored in your spirit being, you should be able to speak the language of the fire. You should be able to speak the language of water. You should be able to speak the language of the wind. You should be able to speak the language of the earth. You don't consult. Consultation simply means you don't understand. You are consulting. I speak your language. I understand you because you are embedded within me. So when we call a person a mystic or a Sufi derived from the word suf. Suf simply means a wool, like you see, like a skin of an animal. Do you understand what I'm saying? That was skinned out of the flesh. So Sufi simply means a person who has been detached from anything that is attachment, from anything that makes him to be subordinate outside of divine. Are you getting my whole thing? So mystic is somebody who, when we are talking about divine, don't mistake him. I'm not talking about monotheism. I'm not talking about a God that you think is there. The divine that brings forth everything from itself, which is the zero, that brings everything, the nothingness that looks so nothing but has everything within it. Where you, they, everybody is being put together and form God. So spirituality is a way of life. It's when you begin to live the life of spirit, you begin to understand everything around you, not by only knowing, by understanding, by having the in-depth of what that thing means. Because do not forget, the universe, the divine, speaks in rhythm, frequencies, and numbers, and it speaks in melody, which is why music is a full of what? Frequency. Which is why in our tradition we even play drums to do what? To rise the spirits. What the spirit? When you play the drum, have you ever seen a great one? Have you ever seen in African spirituality that a drum was played and the spirit, which is the gods, came out physically and danced? So they tell you that the gods possess you. So if, listen, if the gods have to possess you to display, then what are you? It is trying to tell you that when the rhythm, the drum is being played, the rhythm is being rising, the God that is in you, the Ogun that is in you, the Oshun that is in you, the Bamuota that is in you, the Obatala that is in you, it rises them, then they display through the rhythm of the words of the drum. So one person can be possessed with Ogun. That same person can be possessed with Mamuota. That same person can be possessed with Obatala. That same person can be possessed with Yamoja. That same person can be possessed with Alafia. That same vessel. Why? Because all these energies are embedded within him. So when you understand spirituality, your whole being becomes spirit. Your whole life becomes spirit. Your morality becomes spirit. When you sit down here, You are full aware and conscious of now, yesterday, and tomorrow. You don't need to consult. You are. You don't have to go outside of you. So don't come out and blab. I am very powerful. I have 1,000 dating. Pause there. There are people out there. There are great men out there who don't talk. But when the time is right, they will come out. Mystics, they don't brag. They don't talk. Their full life, they are living, is a mystery on its own. Mystics, they don't hold something for you to see. Their full life is a spirituality on its own. So I urge you, you the viewer, you the neophyte, not to be confused. I wouldn't want to use the word deceive, because whoever you see out there doing his own thing might have the true and the right and the authentic things that he does behind doors. Maybe he's just displaying his crafts out there for you to see. But I'm telling you, 80 to 90% of the things you see out there are all ceremonial spirituality or spiritism, which is why they have to go and consult. We all do consultation. We do. I want you to get this. But when we get into a certain level, we put all aside, then we go within. And the within doesn't speak two, doesn't speak twice, it doesn't speak three. It speaks one, and whatever it says, it is a true answer of whatever the divine is revealing to you. Spirituality, I repeat that again, is a way of life. Spirituality should teach you humility. Spirituality should teach you love. Okay? Because these are the three energies that put forth in Kabbalah. Wisdom, that is the intelligence, the idea, and love. God the Father, God the Son, and the Mother. We don't have Holy Spirit. The Christians will kill us today. Are you getting it? So it's a way of life. It transforms your life into itself, because this is who you are. You are full of spirit. You are full of God in human, experience. You are God experiencing human experience. Are you getting my whole thing? So it changes your life. It transforms your life. It makes one to anchor in truth. It makes one to anchor in now. You always anchored within now, not tomorrow, not yesterday, but presence. Okay, your full life, your whole life has to portray what you have anchored within, which is the spirituality. So if you are a spiritual person, yet you are so egoistic, like that man, you know him, like that man, so egoistic, you understand? You see, they always want people to come and lie down flat, brag. There is a problem. Spirituality should teach you humility, should transform your life into that portal, so that you should be able to see everybody as you, which is why Jesus said, love thy neighbor as what? As yourself. Even Muhammad said the same thing. La yu'min ahadukum hatta yuhibba li-akhihi ma yuhibba li nafsihi. He says, verily, none of you will ever be pious, or will ever be a man of God, or will ever be anchored into what? Into purity, into faith, until that person love for him, love for his fellow what he love for himself. Shalom.